Oh, okay.
All right. Yeah.
This program contains graphic material, including offensive language. Viewer discretion is advised.
Guest co-host Mike Riggins is with us. He's an author, radio host. He has his own merchandise line. Please check out his website, MikeRiggins.com. And as always, we have Bubs the Goddess in the building. And then we have myself, the voice of TTB, period. And today's special guest, you guys, we have Ariel, Munro, Barbie Bank Rose O'Hara. Okay. Now, since she's a fashion designer, an up-and-coming hip-hop artist, and a cast member on Chasing Reality's hit show, Chasing Dallas. Ariel, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I mean, you didn't have to spend your Thanksgiving with us, but you are doing it. You know what I'm saying? Did you cook anything tonight for Thanksgiving?
Oh, no, she's not really a cooker like that.
You know wrong with that?
I'll definitely be going to my mom's house.
Okay. Now, your amazing designs, it has been featured on, Access Hollywood, VH1, RuPaul's Drag Race. I mean, girl, you are just doing the things of the things of the things. But before we go there, let's start at the beginning. So when did you first discover you were a part of the LGBTQIA plus Z654321 community?
Well, as long as I've ever remember, I've always been, into the same sex. So, and I mean, that was really, really young, to be absolutely honest. I think from the time I started realizing that, I like him, and not just as a friend. So, from a very early age.
Okay, now from that point on, when did it go from, hey, I like guys, so technically by society standards, I am technically gay, but I don't feel like the essence of a man, you know what I mean? Like, I know deep in my heart I'm a woman. And from that point, when did you start to transition? Like, when did that happen for you?
Oh, so when did I transition? I actually transitioned at the age of, I want to say I was probably about 22 at the time when I decided to finally go ahead and transition. I was going through a really tough time in my life where I felt like if I could be accepted in that situation, then, I mean, I can definitely do it out here. Okay, fuck it. I went to jail. So while in jail, I found myself. Jail actually helped for me though, because Amazing Design was actually something that I thought of while I was in jail. This actual apartment that I actually lived in, the floor, the square footage, the everything, all of this, everything, even the car I drive right now, it was all a plan while I was in jail, as well as my business. And it definitely got bigger than what I could have ever imagined. And to be honest, I even, started rapping when I was in jail. So it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's just all coming together. So, I mean, I'm just planning to work as hard on everything else as I am that. But I definitely transitioned at the age of 23 while in jail. I felt like if I could be amongst all those, killers and what jail give. If I could be amongst all those types of people, all those negative ass motherfucking people, and be myself, and they accept me, I'm just like, well, I can definitely do it out here. So when I got out, I just went ahead and got the courage to go ahead and do it.
I mean, that's wonderful. And this wasn't a part of my line of questioning because I didn't know this information. But now that I do know, like let's unpack this a little bit. Okay, like let's unpack this. So, girl, what happened? Like, you robbed somebody, you shot somebody, you stabbed somebody, girl, what happened?
Well, I was doing forgery with the rest of the kids. I was pushing a pen with the rest of the kids. It was a really big thing at the time. I was young and dumb. But, I've definitely learned from that situation. I actually appreciate that time or that era of my life because it definitely made me the person that I am today.
Hey, I ain't mad at it. The girls are still doing PPP loans, and we'll get there a little bit later.
They are definitely still doing loans.
How did your family react to you transitioning? Was it an easy, breezy, smooth thing, or did they hate it?
Well, it was actually a really smooth transition. My mother actually told me that I would be trans before I even knew that I would be trans. When I told her, when I sat down and had a conversation with my mom about me being gay, she immediately asked me, so are you going to transition? And I was like, what? And she was like, become a girl. And I was like, no, my mom just like boys, like I'm just gay. And so she, I guess, had always seen that in me anyway. Yeah. But it was a really smooth transition. My mother actually went with me when I got my breast done.
Wow.
It was a really big situation.
How was that process of getting it done, and what was the recovery time?
Well, the recovery time, I think, for breast is about a week, I want to say, at least so far as being able to go back to work, but you kind of heal for about 3 months.
Okay. Were you like in the mirror every day, like, yes, bitch, yes, bitch? Yes.
Absolutely. I just recently had some more work done.
Did you?
Uh-huh.
What you got? What's going on? You look good. What you
got? My shaved head. We give it to the kids.
Woo!
Oh, come on.
Okay. All right. Praise him. Praise the Lord.
How did you come up with the name Ariel?
Okay, so I came up with the name Ariel realistically just because I like the mermaid, like no shade. And then it was like people kept asking me, so what's your name? What's your name? What's your name? And I was like, well, I don't have a name. And then I started doing shows. And they, was doing it then, and I needed a name, so I just said Ariel.
Okay, and your last name is O'Hara. Now that's a family in the ballroom scene. Am I lying? Am I right? Am I wrong?
No, it's not a family in the ballroom scene. It's more of the family, yeah.
And how did you get involved with them?
Well, so my mother is actually Silky O'Hara Munro. She's a former Miss Black Universe, and so since she's my mom and like my mentor, I ended up taking on her last name. And then Asia and Raja and, and all of us fell under the branch. Well, actually me and Raja had always been sisters, and then we ended up joining the family around the same time.
Oh, okay. And the Munro thing, is that a play off of Marilyn Monroe?
Yes, and Munro also is what makes me Silky's daughter and not Asia O'Hara's daughter.
Okay. I just love different. Yeah, I just love Marilyn Monroe, darling. But anyhow, you are the owner and designer of Amazing Designs. Now, and as a fashion designer, you have worked with the likes of R&B singer Tamia, T.S. Madison, Funky Dineva, Asia O'Hara, just to name a few girls. Now, how did your love for fashion begin, and when did it morph into you designing, your own material?
Okay, so I want to say the way that I got so precise even on being able to sew, I think the way that I'm able to sew is my fascination with Beyonce. Like I was always, I still am infatuated with Beyonce and just other artists as well. But seeing those shiny outfits and realizing that that's not something that you can just go to the store and pick up. It was something that I realized that I wanted to make. And then wanting it to always be so precise is what I think ended up pushing me to a space of being good enough, I think, to make those type of artist outfits. Because from what I'm told from working with one of the stylists, because I work with Jay Bowling as well, but what I've learned from working with him is that a lot of designers aren't able to go from casual wear into avant-garde. And he says that I'm able to do both. So he loves working with me. So I think that's because of like the drag side of, you know, having to make all those costumes and stuff that I've had to make.
Right.
Now, if I'm correct, you are like the notorious B.I.G. of the fashion world, okay? Because just like Biggie Smalls, you know, he never wrote a single rap when he stepped into the booth. And I believe you don't sketch any of your designs.
I don't. I can't draw to save my life.
Okay. Now, how do you store all of those looks in your head like that? I mean, we need your brain examined because I could fucking never. Okay. I barely know what today is. Okay. How are you doing this? I
don't know. I just like turn on music and, you know, like the outfits just kind of build themselves, to be absolutely honest. It's just kind of one of those side things. Sometimes I just lay the fabric down and stare at it for a moment. And like I said, and listen to music, and the outfits make themselves. And also sometimes I see them in dreams.
Okay.
Wow. Come on, manifestation in dreams. Now.
Spiritual work is what I'm talking about.
Now, your fashion design company is called Amazing Designs. How did you come up with the name for your company?
Well, the O is a play off of O'Hara. So really that's it. It's really just a play off of that.
Yeah. I'm living for these straightforward answers. Okay,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay. Boom. Because you know some girls get on here and talk for hours. Okay, but no shade to them. I mean, we love them too. But when working with no, I'm sorry. As I stated before, you've worked with several artists. You know, Tamia, T.S. Madison, Asia. Now, your latest design is for gospel singer Tamala. Take Me to the King, Man.
Yes.
For the artwork of her latest single cover, He Did It For Me. The dress is beautiful. Great job per usual. How did that come through?
Well, Jay Bowling actually hit me up saying that they were getting ready to do the project. And I want to say it was probably right before they actually shut us down for COVID. That was like one of the last things I did before we had just got shut down. Well, that, and actually I made Tyra Banks something as well, which I'm hoping we see sometime soon. I made her a couple outfits actually. And she definitely loved them and wore them. And they were supposed to be for Model Land. And Model Land, like, you know, I don't know, you know, since COVID hit, I don't know what's going on with that, but the pictures were definitely for Model Land, so I'm hoping to get that. But Tamala, man, Jay Bowling hit me up, and they was needing some outfits or whatever for her. So that was just something that I was able to, and mind you, I only had a day to do it. So that was just something that I had whipped up, yeah.
Wow.
I just let her, you know, listen, and then I thought to myself, they told me that it was an opportunity. It was an opportunity for it to be seen either inside of the book or, you know, as one of the single releases, or maybe even the album cover. So I definitely, you know, made sure that I had went above and beyond to ensure that my piece, because my piece wasn't the only piece, but I wanted to make sure that my piece was a piece that y'all seen, and that's exactly what happened.
Amen.
My piece. Okay. Now, when working with artists like, you know, Tamala or Tamia or any like musician really, can you give us the rundown? Like, does their stylist tell you like, hey, this is the look that I want from them? Or like, do you just show up and do it yourself? Like, how does that create?
I show up and do it myself. When I first met Tamia, that's exactly what that situation was too. It was like, hey, Tamia's in town. Actually, they said, hey, we have a celebrity coming into town and she's going to be performing. And Blase Squad said we was trying to see if we can get you to make her something. And I had said, oh, okay, cute. Who is it? So I can like try to listen to the music to figure out what I'm doing. And she says, Tamia. And I said, who? And she said, Tamia. And she said, you know, Fire and Ice. It's one of the, you know, I'm old school Tamia. Okay. Stranger in my house. Like, you know, she should have had gave me that. But so that's what it actually ended up being when she said, you know, that song Stranger in My House. I said, wait a minute, Tamia? And she was like, yeah. So I came home and put her on repeat and, you know, made her a sickening outfit. And they took it up there. She put it on and she loved it. And they called me like in the middle of the night. I actually thought she wasn't wearing it, to be honest, because it was so far into the time that she's supposed to be going on. And she ended up, they ended up calling me that night. And I'm thinking he's getting ready to tell me, you know, I'm so sorry she didn't wear it. But he flipped the phone and she was standing in it. And then she actually even asked me to come up there to meet her. So I got to meet her behind the stage and everything.
Oh, wow.
Oh, and then I made her a couple more outfits after that. Yeah.
I know that's right.
She went to Africa, which was a really big situation for me. And she was seen like in a stadium of thousands. And so like, it was a really big moment for me as well. I really like working with Tamia too.
Yes, I'm gonna ask you, that's my next question. Who is the most difficult that you've worked with and who was the best person that you've worked with?
Well, I'm not gonna say a name of who the most difficult is, but I will say that the RuPaul Drag Race girls definitely can be a little bit more difficult than like, and I hate to say actual stars, but you know what I mean, like, you know, the girls with the Grammys and stuff. Like they definitely are a little bit more difficult to work with.
Okay, now, how does one go from minding their business, designing dresses, and making them coins privately to being on a hit show like Chasing Dallas and now being a, you know, your own public figure in your own right? What prompted you to come in front of the cameras and join the show?
Well, it's something that I had always wanted to do, and I felt like, you know, like when I was younger, that I do wish that there was someone, you know, like myself that I could look up to. I just think that I'm extremely tall. And, you know, that's something that sometimes the girls can frown upon because, you know, when you're real tall, you're not supposed to be as fishy as I sit a short hoe down any day, though. But, you know, like, it's just like all those different things. I just feel like I would want someone like myself to look up to. So I decided to step in front of the camera. Now, how I actually got in front of it was Ressie was building season 2, and I want to say her and Madison were talking, and Madison actually, because they did the reunion. She did the reunion out there in Atlanta. So T.S. Madison actually ended up suggesting me because I was making T.S. Madison things at the time.
Okay, referral.
Now, before I pass this off to Mike, I just want to speaking of season 2, I just want to say to you, you landed in hot water, right? For a little statement, a little comment that you made. You know, however, I just wanted to tell you personally on here, face to face, that I don't feel like you said anything wrong. Like a straight black guy can kill multiple trans women, and in the comment section, they would be like, "Oh well, you know, that was a dude anyways." However, if a white police officer shoots and kills that same black guy who murdered those trans women, the black community wants to set up marches, GoFundMe accounts, and they want to scream Black Lives Matter. I will never fucking understand. So I just wanted to tell you, I completely understand where you're coming from, and whoever else doesn't can lick my ass and eat my balls. Okay? I stand with you on that one. Okay?
Thank you.
Fuck them. Go ahead, Mike. Do what you gotta do, bro.
So, Ms. O'Hara, you know I love you down, darling, right?
Uh-huh.
So he played nice, but I'm going to be the little messy, naughty one, okay?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we saw that you were that girl this season. Let's give you your flowers. But we also, of course. But we also saw that you made a garment in a matter of minutes. Was that like played up for the camera, or did you really go in there and whip that thing up in like 10 minutes or less?
Okay, so I know you think I only call you last minute, but this is last minute for real. I just need a cute little, like, short, kind of little hoey, but not too hoey, a little bit more coverage.
Okay.
Like, little kind of housewifey reunion dress to film this commercial for VH1, but I need it, like, tomorrow.
I can do that. You know I work well under pressure.
Okay. Oh my God, sickening. Thank you. I love that.
Pretty much everything I make in an hour and 30 minutes to 2 hours. I'm really quick, and then I'm really high couture at the same time. So, you know, that's something that a lot of these girls can't touch. But I've learned how to sew that quick due to me working with girls like Asia who need things overnight. I've created, you know, 25 to 30 costumes for drill teams in a matter of a week all by myself. So, you know, it's definitely that quick for me.
Wow, that's what's up. Yeah, I'm one of those girls who can't do it. As you can see, I push someone in a shirt and sell a job. But no, so I have another long question. I'm going to read it, okay? It's so you were at George's party and you had asked Markel about Lovers and Friends scandal, and you had told Markel that you heard Ressie stole the show, right? So now, like, if you heard that, why would you bring that to the party? Were you trying to be messy on the phone, Ariel, or what?
Focus. What's going on with the Lovers and Friends scandal?
It's a really good show. We're done filming.
So we went to the premiere of it. It's really, really
Wait, I want to know.
sorry,
Why is it a scandal, though?
Oh,
I don't know. I'm listening.
Anybody want to illuminate? I mean, I've been hearing some things.
What
You
you
know,
heard?
well,
I haven't seen it in a long time. So
well, I heard that maybe you stole the ideal and took it and ran with it.
All right.
Ooh.
Well, here's the thing. So, first off, you have to also remember that we're filming a show, right?
Right.
So when we sit down, what do we talk about? What's going on?
Right.
That's the stuff that y'all want to talk about. They put that out there. I did not put that out there. And my thing was I had already heard one side of the story. So I also wanted to hear the other side. And who better to get it from, you know, unlike the other girls, where you go ask everybody else first. Who better to find out what, you know, was going on their end other than that person? So I didn't see nothing wrong with me asking what was going on. We filming the show. We hear those are the questions that y'all want. It's already been public on the blogs, but y'all talking about it and bashing each other. So now that we sitting here, what's going on?
Okay. So with that being said, do you think that the Lovers and Friends concept was created by Ressie or Markel? After knowing that all that you know outside of the camera and on the camera, who do you think the show really belonged to?
Okay, well, for me, it's Ressie's. And it's only Ressie's for me because I actually seen a pilot of them all on the what's, you know what I'm saying? It was just called something different. So I actually seen that with my own two eyes, like did nobody see that for me. So, you know, for me, it's Ressie's. You know, it's not an original idea, I get it. But because of everything that's going on right now and how things can look, as far as I'm concerned, it was Ressie's.
Okay. So let's piggyback off that. So if it was Ressie's idea and he said that Ressie was there when he was pitching it, why didn't Ressie intervene and say, hey, that's my show, what are you doing, or whatever? If you can speak for him, I don't know.
Well, I can't really speak for that because I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Like, no, it's not something I can't speak for Ressie.
So let's touch on that really one more time. So do you think if Ressie had taken over that show originally, it would be better than what it is now with Markel running it?
Well, I do think when you have people that are, you know, I think quote unquote, I would say fan favorites, because, you know, also I don't really feel like the fans really take to Markel like that, like just from piggybacking off of the, you know, comments. And I think that would help if he was just somebody a little bit more, you know, like I think by everybody, it would make you at least want to click it once to, you know what I mean? So that's the only reason, because I feel like it looks great, it sounds great. You know, I just think that that's it. Like overall, I just feel like the people just don't want to support.
Okay. And I agree. If we relate to that person more, we gravitate towards them. I agree on that wholeheartedly. So we saw you shopping with one of your clients, Milan, right?
Yeah.
And you said that y'all were both high as hell during that scene. How many clients of yours have you been high with, if you could share that?
How many who?
How many clients have you been high with?
Whichever one of them smoke. I'm high right now. No
Yes,
okay.
I like that answer.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I have another long question. I like that answer though. I have another long question. Okay, I'm gonna read this one. So at Trey Howard's pink party, you were sitting in the drama field table basically, right? And at the time, Carrie D and Ressie G were not on good terms. And you made the comment, "Poor me, I'm always in the middle." To which Carrie replied, "Well, according to the streets, aka Markel again, you have been running your mouth, going back to Ressie and telling him everything the group says about him. Do you tell Ressie everything, and are you the bone collector?"
Poor me, always in the middle.
That's your friends. Ariel said something along the lines of, "Well, girl, it seems like I'm always going between the both of you." Well, the word on the street is that you are the one going between everybody, going back and forth with your friend, Ressie.
So as we're waiting for the food to arrive, Karen D decides to say to me that Markel has been going around telling the people that I cannot be trusted. Markel, of all people, going around telling somebody that a bitch is not to be trusted. Markel, I said, for the bitches in the back that may not be able to hear me, is going around telling the people that I, Ariel O'Hara, Munro, Barbie Bank Rose, not to be trusted. Miss Thingbox, come on now. Miss Markel, you got me up and I'm the wrong bitch to piss off. I've been going around here skinning and grinning and acting like I'm everybody's motherfucking friend. I've been faking it and shaking it with you motherfucking hoes. Don't motherfucking try me because I'm the wrong bitch to play with like that. Okay, so here's the thing. All bullshit aside, I don't tell Ressie what them girls be saying. And I also don't tell Ressie, I also don't tell them, you know what I'm trying to say. I don't take it back either way. And
right.
I'm also very verbal to them in their face. I let them know I'm not telling you what she be saying. I ain't saying she ain't saying that. Now, when it starts getting to a point where it's seeming like they fist a fight or something, or it's like it seems like it's going too big or it's going too far out of proportion, I will say maybe y'all should have a conversation. Right. I don't think that it's that serious. I don't like it's always that or whatever with me. Yeah. So I don't look at myself as a bone collector. Like I really don't. I don't see that as being a bone collector. I see that as me trying to get, you know, two parties to meet in a common ground so that we can all sit around each other. That's how I see it. That's why I had got so upset when it was like, when I felt like the one person that was honestly in the background trying to make the girls, you know, at least be, you know, cordial with each other for you to do me like that. Right. So I was like, wait, what? Bitch, do you not know how much shit, like I know, you understand that we're all doing things, but we all must not be doing enough things if y'all are sitting around talking about me, especially, right. You know, questioning my character. Like, so bitch, don't do me like that.
Well, all right.
Okay.
So, go ahead, Buzz. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. So
no,
what
I was agreeing.
What I thought was weird that the producers allowed 2 pink parties, and I kind of thought it was like.
Also, one more thing.
Yeah, go for it.
Let's say something else about that whole messy situation. Since everybody wants to like just pinpoint me on being messy, let's be clear. There's nothing ever on set said out of my mouth that y'all ain't watched in some episode. So I don't understand how I'm messy for something that a motherfucker don't mind having a conversation about on their scene anyway. That's not mess. That's called being at work. That messy should be what be in the text messages and all that other shit that we have to screenshot to bring on to this. That's me. Like no shade, it is.
You right.
Me talking about what you watching in you know 30 or 40 minutes, like just because I said it a couple minutes earlier, that I just don't understand how that's messy. That's just not messy to me.
Right. I agree. I mean, and I do watching it. I'm just asking questions, you know, but. Me personally, I do say that because I haven't seen the people do it. I'm just like, why is the girl study trying to make me miss? Because if I miss it, then everybody else misses too. Because everybody do that. It's all film. Yeah, what I take from what you're doing basically is like, let's put it out there, call everybody out. Like you said, let's put it out there. Let's talk about it. Let's confront it all at once. Since everybody's here, let's talk about it. So I got that. Like it is what it is. But you attended 2 pink parties on the same show, which was weird. I don't know how producers allow that. But who, in your opinion, who party was the best?
I think Trey party probably was, just other than me cutting up at it, no shade, because it was a really beautiful view of downtown. Like y'all didn't see that, but it was like we were in like a corner off section or whatever that was like floor to ceiling windows all the way around. So that was really, really pretty. They both had really pretty ones because actually George had a really pretty like flower arrangement or whatever there. Okay. They were on every table. Like that was really pretty too. But I just like to look at the, you know, the downtown view.
Okay. So you took a creative turn this season, which we all saw. So why rap? And how did the name Barbie Bank come about?
Bitches hold up. Niggas, what it do? The Barbie pushing through when the drop top beam a coupe. Bitches really hate me now, they fake like we been cool. Flexing on you bitches, nothing better else to do. Okay. Now that was right, so now I want to do the other piece.
I'm that bitch that's fucking men. I'm that bitch that's watching band. I'm that bitch that's in a bag while you bitches play pretend. I'm that bitch that's getting to it. I'm that bitch that's running through. I'm that bitch that make them do it, drop the bag and get back to it.
Woo! Woo! Well, Barbie Bank Rose had came up with me really sitting over here at the house, smoking with Trey. And we were sitting in here and I had some songs that I had played with like a long time ago. And I had let him hear it. And he was like, girl, you actually got something. He raps as well. So we were sitting and he said, well, what was your name? And I said, Barbie. And then he gave me the Bank Rose because it was actually Barbie Bank Rose.
Yeah. So you have 2 songs out currently, right? Run It Up and DDD Better, right? Yes. So which songs would you feel is like the best, the bop in your opinion? Which would you choose as the better song?
Run it up, 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 run it up. Just like I thought you bitches fucking pussy. I play dumb with these niggas, I fake nice with these hoes. So if a bitch wants that action, no, a bitch can come get it. That's right, I'm ready, I'm go. Don't duck and dodge from no hoe. And if a bitch acting bad, I'm like, fuck it, let's go. All the bitches that I fuck with is bad. Pretty long nails, big booties, getting cash. When these hoes feels, they be hating on our ass, cause they niggas looking at us and it's just too fucking bad. They hyping up my bitch because she pretty. When we link up, make these bitches feel shitty. Walk up in the spot, know these niggas trying to hit it. Bitches always gonna feel it when it's pressure in the building. Everybody know that Texas does it better. Everybody know Dallas bitches look better. The pussy tighter, fatter, stay wetter. Ain't a bitch fucking with us, we gon' always be better.
You know what? I'm so excited about my music and I literally listen to my shit all day long, like every song. I literally listen to my shit all day long. And I must say, I'm so impressed with myself. And I'm so excited for y'all to hear everything. To answer that question, I like them both, but I think I like Run It Up the most.
Because you want to run up them strings, baby. I hear you. I hear you. Okay. Okay. So should we expect like a full EP from you? If so, when is it coming out?
Absolutely. We're going to get a full EP from me. Like I already have about 8 or 9 songs already recorded. So I'm just waiting to figure out, like the actual look of the album. Like all this stuff is so new to me. And I'm just wanting to make sure that when I come out, I give y'all stuff of a level of, I've already been here, just ain't nobody been paying attention. Like, I'm trying to make sure that when I come out, I feel like you only have that one chance to, give a first impression. So I'm trying to do my best to like show up and show out as like, girl, like, who is this girl and where is she at and how is she not signed?
So last question from me, and it's a light question, and I know TTB touched on it briefly, but what is your writing process like?
Say that again.
What is your writing process like? Like, how do you?
My writing process?
Yeah.
My writing process consists of these neon lights, minus these lights, pen and pad, Crown Royal, and at least a 3.5 of Kush, and then I just kind of. And then I just listen to the track over and over again, and they actually write themselves. So everything that I write is something that's going on. I don't talk about nothing that I ain't got. I ain't talking about nothing that I ain't doing, And so they really just write themselves. And if I'm into it with a bitch, it helps.
All right. Okay.
So that's it for me. Thank you. It wasn't that bad, but I had to ask those questions because some I wanted to know myself, and then some were, of course, on blogs and in the comments. So.
Now, wait. Holla. Before we give it to Bubs, ladies and gentlemen, we have to take a quick commercial break, okay? So go get y'all drinks, go get y'all snacks, do what y'all gotta do, but keep it locked. Keep it locked right here, motherfuckers. You are watching The Panel.
It started as a dream. Then I woke up and turned it into a reality. Reflections of me, The Circle of Confusion, and pages out of my journal are all 3 books written during hard times in my life. But that didn't stop a boy like me. I decided to use my voice. And I created 3 radio shows. And the newest solo show, All About Mike, Let's Talk About It, is where I talk all my shit and give 0 fucks. Being on my hot boy shit led me to create the Michael collection, with shirts of my favorite sayings. And as you can see, you should definitely trust no hoe. What happened to all be dreams of mine? I turned them into reality. And with that, I walk into my new journey where I'm really about to fuck shit up and go beyond zero fucks given in these LA streets.
You trying to be relevant and it's not working. Don't be condescending with me, because this is a problem that you do not want. The problem is you. You're the problem.
Let me be me. Exactly. You sound one pill away from HIV positive. I'm more healthy than you, girl. I'm more healthy than you, girl. I should let the bartender pop you. So I'll go outside, play some music, and just walk. And we all. And they ain't come and beat your ass? No. Like, I was
Guys, I need to borrow some clothes for the interview since I don't have any fancy clothes.
You go to my closet, you take whatever you need. You too, Brennan. You guys gotta look sharp. It's the most important day of our lives, okay?
Okay, Dad.
What's your name? What's your age? Where you from? What's your sign? Who you love? What's your style? What you do? What you drive? Stop, drop, and roll. Do that. Do it like a pro. Do that. Stop, drop.
Ladies and gentlemen, and we are back here at the panel, and as you can see, we still have our beautiful, gorgeous, snatch for the gods, special guest, Ariel Munro, Barbie Bank Rose O'Hara is still with us, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Miss Barbie Bank Rose, I'm about to ask you a whole bunch of, I call them roundup questions, and I need you to answer them as fast as you can. It's gonna be really quick, okay? Are you ready?
Okay.
Top, bottom, or verse?
Top.
Missionary or doggy style?
Doggy.
Spit or swallow?
Spit.
I understand. Okay.
NYC, ATL, or LA?
Say that again.
NYC, ATL, or LA?
ATL.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Cereal or oatmeal?
Cereal.
Tall or short guys?
Tall.
Tattoos or piercings?
Tattoos.
Weed or alcohol?
Weed.
High heels or sneakers?
Sneakers.
Long hair or short hair?
Long.
R&B or hip hop?
R&B.
All right, thank you so much. Go ahead, Bobs.
That was good. That was good. Now, with my questions, I have 7 for you. They're kind of more nuanced and they're loaded questions. So there's going to be like 2 or 3 questions, entangled in that. And I'm going to set it up and everything. So just pay attention and we'll get through it, okay?
Okay.
My first question is this. When it comes to music, you recently shared that your love for music and artistry grew during elementary school with you performing every Friday for your class. But looking a bit deeper into that, like what was the actual genesis or starting point for your love of music? Like, was there a particular song that you heard which like piqued your curiosity? And also, do you remember the first song you performed for your class?
Okay, so
I told
so
you.
many goddamn questions. God damn, you couldn't have just broke that up a little bit.
I just because that way it just sets the foundation to kind of make it more of like a broader perspective. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, well let me see what it's like 1,000 questions.
It's the weed talking. Sorry.
Okay, so I want to say one of the first songs that I think I had ever probably performed at school, I think was the Spice Girls. Who Do You Think You Are? Because the Spice Girls were real big at that time, and I would bring like my karaoke box or whatever to school and be singing it. And now that I think about it, I was like, But I'm happy that he had encouraged me though to do that, like to be absolutely honest with what I'm doing now. Let's see. Like one of the songs that I think I had ever heard that made me feel like I wanted to write music.
Yeah, kind of like started that journey for you. Like, oh wow, well if they doing it, I can do it too. Shit.
I think for me is when something comes on the right, like Up, like Cardi B Up.
Okay.
For me, it's when something like that, and I think I just kind of sort of fallen into that like a little bit more so here lately. For me, it's when stuff come on the radio and it's a hit, and I feel like, bitch, I could have wrote that, like, you know.
Right.
So I think that that's what would have done it for me here recently. And so far as back in the day, I don't really feel like rapping was something that I was really trying to do. I did write some music for my sister at the time who was trying to be a rapper. So, you know, just because of, you know, me being gay and wanting to talk about pussy and stuff, like it made more sense for her at the time because I was still a boy and wasn't even thinking about being trans or nothing like that. So after I became trans, it just made more sense for me to give it a shot again. That combined with hearing stuff on the radio that I felt like I could have wrote like tap in, like all that shit. I just feel like it's stuff that I like could have came up with if I sat down or heard that beat. So I hope answered those two questions, and I don't even remember the others.
It was really just two questions. It's just the way I like to set it up real nice for you. I know it's a lot. I'm gonna try to do better. Here's my second question. It's a little bit shorter. With being an evolving artist and like securing your lane, how has that journey of finding and securing your sound been? And secondly, what's one positive experience and one negative experience from that? Want me to ask again?
Yes, please.
Okay, I told this how I do it. Okay. So like, how is your journey finding your like your lane and your sound? How has that journey been?
Okay, so the journey for me for finding my sound, it actually hasn't been one that's been that difficult because I just feel like I try to make the type of music that I like to listen to. I'm really influenced by like Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B and what's her name, Sweetie, and the girl from Here Tay Money. Like I'm so like inspired by their sound. For me, I just, you know, kind of know what kind of lane that I'm kind of wanting to lean toward. So, I mean, that's a really easy situation for me, honestly, when I hear a track, especially if it's a beat that I feel like the songs just kind of write themselves.
Okay.
So the journey of what's through that, to be absolutely honest, is pretty easy. Like I've worked with some people. Oh, that sounds just shady, but I've worked with some people and they just take a little longer to do the things that they say that they do. And I'm kind of new in it, and I just kind of feel like I just kind of, okay, well, hey, like, let's get it. And then, you know, it just kind of be like, oh, I need a week to write. That's what I need a week for. But you know what I mean? Like, I just think like it's just something that comes easy to me, to be absolutely honest. Okay. And then so far as my sound go, I was actually a little apprehensive about the sound at first, just because like being trans, like you have to sound fish and also deliver, but you know, it's like sometimes that kind of comes off a little funny or whatever on a track when you're trying to, you know, balance all the two. However, I think the engineer that I work with, between me and him, we've gotten a good ground between the two. And I know for a fact he definitely makes my voice sound real good. Okay, cool. Awesome. I'm gonna have to cut this shit down. Let's see. So once again, you shared that your experience in reference to walking in your truth has been more on the positive side than what we've heard from a lot of our trans sisters who unfortunately have something different. Like, how has having more positive experiences with your family, how has that like helped you in your life? Oh, it's definitely helped me tremendously, because I feel like I've been surrounded around, whether it even really be like my friends. I feel like I've always been surrounded around such positivity, especially with me becoming trans. I feel like I got even more love, honestly, from my mother and my sister and like my grandma, like just everybody, to be absolutely honest, after I came out as trans. And I think it's because like maybe that connection or whatever had hit. They've all been like so loving and caring or whatever of me. So I do think that I really feel for the girls actually that aren't, you know, able to experience that. that's why I'm also like so willing to be so open or whatever with my life, because I just be wanting them to know, like, you know, I unfortunately it maybe didn't happen, but it does happen on some rare chances, and I so happen to have it, thank God.
Mm-hmm. Right, and that also relationships can be salvaged. Like, even though it may have been this way in the beginning, doesn't mean it's going to be this way all, you know, for the rest of your life, because people can grow and evolve.
Definitely take work.
Exactly. So, like, also with your family, were there like any rough spots at all, just in them like learning and embracing your transness? Did they have to learn a few things, or was it just like smooth sailing?
Well, so far as me and my grandmother went, me and my grandmother actually kind of fell out. You know, I went through this whole thing, at least with her in the beginning, you know, where it was, you know, why me? You know, the typical shit, why me? You know, what about me? And, and I was just like, what do you mean, what about you? And so I ended up moving back home or whatever with my mom. However, I thank God for that, because it made me and her relationship even stronger. And as of now, today, though, I'm definitely, you know, grandmother's baby, my granddaughter, my this, my that, you know, my everything. So, you know, things just take time, but did I answer the question?
You did. Thank you. I know. Like I said, I'm trying to cut this shit down. Okay, now we all know, once again, that love is a beautiful thing. We all want to be loved. No, you know, fuck what anybody got to say, despite what they believe, what they want to believe. We all want love. But we learned that the best love is self-love. And a lot of times we discover self-love in the darkest moments of our lives. Now, you shared that recently you were involved with someone, and unfortunately an altercation happened to the point to where you had to literally fight for your life. Now, if you're comfortable, once again, comfortable, could you share with us what went through your mind that night?
Well, what went through my mind that afternoon was... what went through my mind that afternoon was the fact that I just felt like I had let myself down. I felt like, how can I tell? I feel like a hypocrite. I feel like, how can I tell, you know, other people to be so strong and to, you know, not fall into these situations when you pretty much at home, like living in one. Like, it's hard to, you know, smile and just let everything be okay and try to play cool and calm and collect and, like, you know, that bitch all the time when things are honestly falling apart at home. So, but when I was going through that situation, something else that had passed through my mind was that the fact that I was just with my mother, you know, my nephews, my cousins and everybody, and this is what they're going to have to remember, you know, every 4th of July. Like, that's a hell of a, you know, thing to think about. And not only that, I felt like my face was getting ready to join a poster with the rest of the girls. Like, you know.
Right. So where are you at with that now, mentally and emotionally, like looking back in retrospect?
Looking back on that, I realized I was stupid. I realized I was stupid for, like, allowing someone to come in and make me feel like I'm anything less than a queen. And so, you know, I learned that you definitely have to have self-love. And I feel like self-love is definitely something that I just regained or whatever here recently in, you know, letting go of the situation. Because I honestly just recently, you know, kind of gave all that up and really forgiven the fact of the situation and decided to let all those things go.
Yeah, and I'm happy that was the case, because when it comes to situations like that also something that's very common in the community. So the fact that even though you went through that and you say you feel like a hypocrite, the way I look at it is a way of, you know, if I went through the same thing that you're going through, I can make it too. So it's like, it makes you more relatable and it makes, you know, closer to relate to the situation. So, and I'm glad that you're out of that. And then plus, whatever God has for you is for you. And some motherfuckers can't go with you where you're going. So he had to go. Once again, you are definitely...
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Not to make light of the situation, what you went through was so horrible. I wouldn't wish that on anybody, but I just have to ask this. The person that this was, his name wasn't Trey Womack, right? Because he's making his rounds within the group. I just want to make sure it's not.
No.
Apparently he's been tapping all the girls. I wanted to make sure it wasn't him. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bob. I'm sorry.
No, you good. Just a few more questions. Once again, you are definitely an evolving artist. Artist being the umbrella. You are a seamstress, a rapper, singer, performer. I mean, just commas, commas when it comes to checks, commas when it comes to niggas, just commas. So going from a place of, you know, visualization, imagination, intention, and action, now to a place of actually like manifesting and living it. Like, how does that feel?
Like a dream, honestly. And the thing is, I honestly feel like even the space that I'm even standing in right now is just a stepping stone, like a small one, because I still don't feel like I'm exactly where I'm destined to be.
Exactly.
But it definitely feels like a dream. It's eye-opening. It always tells me to keep pushing. You know, like I definitely have days or whatever where I feel like I'm not doing enough, but it's also because I'm literally somebody that's not consistent in being in the same space every year. Like every year I have this thing where I have to do better and better. I don't know what better is, but I'm definitely someone that every year somehow or another I want to feel like this is better than that. Like that's better than this. It's better than that. Not because, well, I guess I am competitive, but with myself.
Right.
So,
right.
You know, I just always find myself wanting to be better and be a better me.
So that's more so like walking by faith at this point, right?
Yeah,
kind of let everything just fall into place.
Definitely.
Okay. 2 more questions and I'm done. With having more of a positive feedback this season, once again, looking in retrospect, what have you discovered or learned about yourself?
I've learned that it's okay to be me. I feel like last season I really wasn't that open into giving up myself or whatever like that, just because, you know, people like they say shit. So it's kind of like you be scared to show who you really are. So it's a kind of a protective thing. Like, don't get me wrong, I was definitely myself, but I was definitely myself at like maybe a level, you know, 3 or 4. Now I'm at about a 9.
Right. Okay,
So,
I appreciate the confidence.
Yeah, I've definitely learned from that it's okay to be myself, and I'll be loved and liked for that.
Yes, and that's how you get your blessings, because you being yourself. So you getting your blessings, no other bitch blessings. And the last question. In your song DDD Better, Triple D Better, you stated that the pussy is tighter, fatter, and stays wetter. Praise the Lord. The people wants to know how tight, how fat, and how wet is Miss Ariel O'Hara, aka Barbie Bank Rose cat is round. Is it sopping? Do we need a biscuit to sop it up?
Well,
praise him.
You know, it's about around, you know, now. I don't know how to answer that. It's definitely fat and round. You know, she's definitely now sitting at about, you know, for you girls who understand measurements, she's definitely now a 45, 32, 50. That's what the measurements is giving. So, you know, for the kids that understand that, that's definitely, you know, what the measurement is. And, you know, she get wet too, depending on what type of lube, you know, preferably ID that you use the ID.
Okay. Hey, man, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for fucking with me and my long ass questions. Thank you.
No, you fine.
Ariel,
the questions that was long as hell.
How do you?
I told you.
How do you feel about all of the drama surrounding this season? I mean, so many, excuse me, so many things have been going on. You know, we have December exposing Trey Howard's PPP loan. You know, we have the friction between Ressie G and Ondario, which ultimately led to the show being canceled. And now we're having a virtual reunion. So how do you feel about everything that's going on? Let's start with December exposing Trey Howard's PPP loans. How did you feel about that when you heard that?
Well, I don't personally know if, you know, he exposed something that was going. Well, first off, the PPP loan is supposed to be for people with businesses, and Trey has an LLC. You know, so we can scoot past that. As far as I'm concerned with that, I don't think that. I mean, that's what it was there for. So, you know, whatever. And so far as, I guess, what did you ask me about Ressie and
the friction right now between Ressie G and Ondario?
And Ondario.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I guess it's just like friends quarreling, like, you know, that happens or whatever. Unfortunately, I hate that, you know, everybody under the branch is caught up under it. That's a little unfair, but I mean, what can you do? Child, when you at somebody's house and they tell you have to leave, you can't do nothing but get your purse and go.
I mean, do you? I mean, because you're really close with Ressie. So, do you think there's a chance that they might fix this in the future?
No, I don't think there's a chance that this will be fixed.
Wow. So, what do you think about the show being canceled? Chasing Dollars is officially canceled. What do you think about that?
I think that it sucks. I think that the Chasing Reality brand overall is an amazing platform. I think that the platform has the power to build and create stars. I feel that a lot of the people on the platforms are stars and, you know, in their own light and definitely deserve to be seen. And I'm definitely one. I feel that we as, you know, cast members have a job and a responsibility to, you know, really get to a bigger and better impression of ourselves. And sometimes, you know, we fall flat of that. I think that I hate for the situation to be ending the way that it is, because for me personally, I was ready to go even further. I just felt like I had woke up and I realized, that's why you see me working so hard. I woke up and I realized like there's 70,000 people subscribe to this channel. There's so many people that can see you being so much more than, you know, yelling and screaming and picking and fighting and doing those things. You don't have to be there to be entertained. I'm funny as fuck, especially when I'm high. Like, I'm funny as fuck. So you don't have to always kick and scream and do all that. Like, the platform is for us to show our businesses and for us to, you know, be able to make a coin from that. So, I mean, I hate that it's over. Like, I honestly do. I feel, you know, disappointed.
I have a question to piggyback off of that. What's next for you now that the show's over? Are you going to try to go to another city and get on that show? Are you going to try to create your own show? Are you going to jump on the Ressie G production? What's next?
Well, I'm definitely not going to run to another city to get on another show, because my coin had always came from Amazing Design. Had a coin, had been getting the coin, had already been on TV, CNN as well. You know, I had did that too this year. So it's like, I'm definitely not going to move to another city to do another YouTube show. That's just not happening. Now, I do feel like if Ressie would have me on the Ressie Gamble production, I'll definitely be on such. I don't mind, you know, doing something maybe that's within the city if it fits. I'm not really looking to show hop like that. I feel like what I want my focus to be is on building myself. So to be absolutely honest, if I do something else, I honestly want it to be me any goddamn way. That way, if I fail or if whatever happens, it's based off of what I did.
Yeah. So would you do a show about trans girls?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That would be awesome. I could definitely see that.
I do agree with you when you said it sucks that the show is being canceled, because I feel like you guys just hit your stride.
We were just starting. Like, honestly, we were just starting.
Yeah, because, you know, the first season was a dud. Let's just call it what it is. And the second season was great. And then this third season has been great so far. So I feel like you guys were just finally getting out there. You know what I mean? So for it to end is horrible. So hopefully everything works out. But since it's ending, we now have a virtual reunion. What are your thoughts on the virtual reunion? Because, you know, people always, we tune into the reunion for the mess, but we like to see, you know, the outfits.
The outfits in the mess, yeah.
So how do you feel about that?
I think I probably feel the way, honestly, the rest of the cast feel, which is just also disappointed. But I also understand that Ressie was the EP. So with that being said, she would have to be funding, you know, like the venues and stuff like that for us to do so with. And I mean, let me find the simplest way to say this. Who else gonna go to work at Walmart after being fired and put in some more hours after being fired? Like, you just going to get your last check. You're not finna go clock back in. And do, like, you know what I mean? So it makes sense. So it's like, you can't do nothing but respect that. And I mean, and I get it. Like, I damn sure wouldn't be in, like, putting no more of my money into a situation that I've been kicked out of. Like, you know? So, I mean, I hate that we're all, again, stuck in the middle of the situation, but it's just kind of like, it's where we at. Like, so we just, you know, trying to work through it. I know everybody else like disappointed though.
Now you said earlier in the interview that you said that Markel wasn't really like a fan favorite of the show. So who do you think are the fan favorites of the show?
Interesting.
I personally right now feel like I think the fan favorites would probably be Trey, Ressie, myself, Dior, Robert, because they're always saying how cute he is. Well, shit, if I think that's it, I hope I didn't miss nobody.
Well, Mike has left it. I want to ask Mike if he had any more questions. I don't know where the hell he went. Maybe he hit a wrong button. Oh,
here we go. Boom.
Okay.
Look at the Lord.
Mike, do you have any more questions before I close out the interview, sir?
No, I just want to say you are and will forever be the first lady of Chasing Dallas.
No. Oh, of Chasing Dallas. Okay.
Yeah, Chasing Dallas.
Starting some mess.
I'm
nervous.
No. But yeah, I just want to say that I enjoyed you. Like, you entertained me. Like, I used your call sheet hoes once.
Call sheet hoes. Call sheet hoes. Again. Call sheet hoes. Again. Call sheet hoes. Yet again. Call sheet hoes.
But
did y'all understand what that meant?
Huh?
Did y'all understand what that meant? Because I seen some people did not.
For me, being on a show, it meant that we only talk and we only meet and we only hang out when we have a call sheet to come and do such.
That's exactly what it was. Okay.
Right.
Some people did not though. And I was like, how did y'all not get that? But I guess you have to be in this world of like,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, why did you not turn that into shirts? People would have bought that.
You really think people would have bought that?
They say it on my platform all the time. They were like, if Ariel would have, they're waiting on a shirt from that.
Well, who's to say that it ain't one coming with the Barbie Bank Rose situation happening?
Ooh.
I'm glad Mike.
It's not a call sheet whole song.
I'm glad Mike said that whole first lady thing because people are trying to say that Ressie G has been trying to turn you into the Lauren England of Chasing Dallas. How do you feel about that?
Honored.
Mm-hmm.
I feel honored because just like Chloe, if there's someone to be, affiliated with or for a bitch to say you competent or something, it definitely should be like the head honcho of the situation. And I mean, who better than to copy or mimic if a bitch is trying to push you to be a bitch than Lauren? She got her own show. The people live for her, they love her. And I feel like you doing that just means that you're looking at that in me as well. So I'm honored for that. I don't feel like it's a read. I mean, it's definitely a couple girls that you could probably say that I was mimicking that would be a read. But like, that's definitely not one. So when a motherfucker tell me something or say something like that, I just feel like what you're saying in me is something more. And that's fine.
And then you gotta look at who it came from, like, girl.
Huh?
And you gotta look at who said it. It's like, girl, please.
Well, I mean, it's like, like I said, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Definitely. If you feel like
Who said it, Mike? Who said it, Mike? Who said it?
Who better than Lauren to look up to? So.
Wait, let's make it hot real quick. Who said it, Mike? I didn't hear.
No, I don't know who said it personally, but usually the ones that's calling you something is the ones who's nothing. Like, girl, please.
Okay. So for the record, Ressie G is not behind the scenes trying to make you into anything.
Well, so if Ressie, okay, let's do this. Let's do this. So if that's the case, then Ressie would have to be writing the raps, right? I write. Ressie would have to be picking the music. I pick them. So I can't be being somebody else when I already have my own talent. Ain't nobody building me to be shit. Not only do I write my songs and do all that, I also create all the costumes as well. Mm-hmm. Ain't nobody pushing me to do nothing other than to be successful and to do what I need to do because that is a God-given talent that I have in myself. So, again, though, if somebody feel like that, that's just how they feel. Opinions are like buttholes.
Yeah, and some of them hoes don't know how to clean them well. But I appreciate the fact that you are walking in your truth and also the trans, like, awareness. That's what we need more of. Like, Just Lauren is absolutely amazing. I really love that show, and like what's happening with you, and even the way that you even answered that question. A lot of bitches would have been like, "What the fuck you trying to say?" The fact that you were willing to like look past all of what could be considered shade and mess and see the message and be like, "Oh wow, bitch, I'm honored," because that's a high level bitch, and so am I. It's kind of like your level of, I ain't gonna say being humble, because you're only humble to yourself.
Just awareness.
Yeah, but also humility, because that just means like it's a bunch of other bad bitches, but I'm one of them too. And there's nothing wrong with that. And we need more of that. Like if we had more people that were confident and were aware like you, I feel like there wouldn't be a lot of shit that's going on. Because like you said, it's a lot of hoes that's doing call sheet shit. And when I do my call sheet, trust me, it's gonna be for a tour or something. And it ain't gonna be just for something to show up. So I appreciate you.
I got the call sheet, came, showed up, and got my camera down.
What you say, Ben?
Huh?
I didn't hear what you said. What did you say?
No, I was saying this is actually a good idea for me to call a tour, call sheet.
Oh, the call sheet tour. The call sheet tour. Oh, that'd be good.
Now, Miss Barbie Bank Rose, if Dario called you, right, and was like, he wants to put together the first all trans girl reality show with like you, Lauren, T.S. Little Kendra, and maybe he would film you guys like, going on tour together and whatnot, something of that magnitude. Would you be here for it?
I would be open to it. I would have to see what the contracts and stuff are given though.
Understandable.
Understandable. Well, Ariel, thank you so much for coming on and doing this with us, because I know you're a busy bitch.
Yes.
So I really, really appreciate you. And ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. You can catch Ariel, Munro, Barbie Bank Rose, O'Hara every Thursday night on the latest season of Chasing Dallas. And you can check out her amazing designs at Amazing Design. And check out her 2 latest singles, Run It Up and DDD Better. Period. Yes. They're both streaming now, and both songs are absolutely amazing. We're not just saying that because she's here. Okay?
It's fire for real.
See, I really appreciate that, and I put a lot into that to make sure that y'all feel like that, because I know sometimes we just be living for the people. You know what I mean? So I really try to put in that work to show y'all bitch like I deserve it.
It's real shit.
Boom. You do?
It's fire. No shade.
It is.
I blast it. Okay? It's keep it going. And wait, okay, do you have a song with Carrie D coming up? You can say it.
Yes, I do have a song with Carrie D. It's called Brunch. It's the remake. Yeah.
Ooh, the remix.
And I also have the Triple D challenge going on right now.
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much, Ariel, and happy Thanksgiving to you guys on the panel. Enjoy your turkey night, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody watching. You have joined us on another episode of The Panel. Bye.
Bye.